Hey everyone, Dalton Grados here, and one of my favorite follows on X is this guy right here, Adam Mancini, full-time futures trader in the ES, and you see he's got a bit of a following here, 205,000 followers, but he's one of the real ones. He's a real trader and pretty much makes all of his money actually from trading because his only social media presence is his X, and he has a $20 a month Substack newsletter, which I'm sure is great. I don't actually subscribe to it myself. I just follow what he puts out for free on X, but he only talks about actual trading and levels. So we don't even know what this guy looks like. He's not posting any flashy marketing type of things, with the lifestyle and all that stuff. But he is just calling out levels and he nails it all the time. And you might follow him already, you might not. But today I'm going to talk about his failed breakdown trade, which, as he says, is pretty much his only trading pattern that he does every single day, almost every single day, whenever he can find it, is this failed breakdown pattern. I'm going to go over today is May 31st. It's a Saturday. I'm going to go over his trade from yesterday, as I saw it, of course. I'm sure he talks about it much more in detail in his paid newsletter, but this is just from what he's posting on X. And we're going to go through basically how to trade his failed breakdown setup and what to look for. So let's get into the charts. So he posted, if you follow him, about this 58.77 level. And we can go ahead and mark that right there. So why was that level important going into today? So I have an ES pulled up on a 15-minute chart. And you see, and by the way, I'm using NinjaTrader's market replay tool. This is a free tool to use. You don't even have to have an account with NinjaTrader to use this, and it works really well just for if you want to trade markets in simulated mode and play real historical data. It's totally free, and I have another video on how to use it that I guess I'll link here in the description. But anyway, so we're here. It's May 30th in our simulation, and we see that he was talking about this. Basically, it's just this overnight low, 58.77. That's why this level was significant to him, is because we see the market's ranging here, and then it boom drops down, makes a wick, and then maintains back in the range. So what he's looking for is the failed breakdown of this level. So Adam has said that he only trades longs, and so there is a short trade. If we do break below this level, there is a short there, basically a breakout short. But what he's looking for is for it to break below and retrace and recover the level. So I'm going to demonstrate what that trade looks like here. So all we're doing here is waiting for this short. So I'm playing the historical data. I'm playing this at 10x speed. I have this on a 15-minute chart. Maybe I'll go down to a 5-minute so we can see that. All right, here on the ES 5-minute chart. And maybe we'll go ahead and speed this up a little bit. 20 times speed. So you can see we're heading for the bottom of range, and we're looking to break below this overnight low. And then once we get that break below, we want to come up and retest it. So there we got the break. Okay, I'll slow this down. Now again, there's possibly, like I said, a short to be played here if you want to sell below that level. But from following him on X, and this is not me saying this, is just from what he has said, is he finds more often than not when these happen, even though there's a short to be played there potentially, most often it will actually recover the level. So now what we're looking for to trade the Mancini failed breakdown, is for this level to be recovered. Now, I'm sure he goes into his entry criteria in more detail, but I personally, this is a me thing, not an Adam thing, is I like to see recovery of this level, break or pull back to around this level, and then for the continuation higher. So let's see if we get that here. We're on the 5-minute chart. We're going to speed it up a little bit. We'll move this out of the way. All right. So again, trading is all about patience. We are not getting that. If you want to take the short there, you have a classic, breakdown, retest, and short. If you want to take the short. But again, for this video, we're just focusing on the failed breakdown long setup. But that would be a pretty good short. Again, just simple breakout, pull back, retest, continuation down. Now down here, we also have 5850s, which is another support level. 5850 is a big round number. So that would be, really your area of target when it breaks below the overnight lows here. But now you can see we're picking back up. And let's see if we get this break higher. Okay, looks like we are now recovering this level. So now, and again, the entry criteria is something that I would say is something that, I'm looking for a break above and pullback. I'm not sure exactly how Adam structures his entries, if he is entering right on the breakup of that level, if he's entering on a pullback, if he's scaling in multiple contracts. But so that's something that, maybe you pay for his newsletter and you get more detail on that. This is something that I personally would look for. So we break above, we pull back. Let's maybe slow this back down to really get a feel for our entry here. All right, so it looks like we're holding there. I'm going to buy. Maybe I'll buy 3 contracts. Okay, so we're in the market right at that recovery and pullback and holding of the 58.77 level. So again, we broke below, we recovered that level, we pulled back and appear to be holding. Okay. Now, where would I personally put my stop? Again, this is a me thing, I'm not sure Adam's specific criteria, but where I personally would put my stop was probably below this this support area, this you call it a break of structure here. So, maybe I put my stop. How do I do 3? Right, so I would expect maybe this area here, these candles, to hold as support. So maybe I put that just below the break of structure there. All right. Now, importantly here, where are our take profits? So Adam actually posts his exact levels that he's targeting, but it's what I've observed in following him is it's really all about the simple levels on price action here. So the next level up would probably be 5,900. That would be first target. All right. And let's actually see what his, I'm going to pause this real quick and see what his actual targets were. But from what I gathered, it's basically these resistance levels up here. So you'll see that when I pull up his page here. Okay, his targets were 58.90. Okay, pretty close to 5,900. 59.10, 59.25. So those were his targets. So I'm going to go ahead and mark those exactly as he said, just so we can start to see the logic. 58.90. Okay, 58.90, where is that? Well, that's basically right at the bottom of these candles up here, right? 58.90, I could see how that could be a target, right? And then he said 59.10. So I'm going to sell another one there. Again, that's right at the top of this range from this breakdown here at 8.15, the 8.15 candle. And 59.25. Well, that's right at the top of the range. So pretty logical levels here, right? First target, bottom of range. Second target, really the middle, you could say the middle of this overnight range, or you could say, you know, kind of the top of the beginning of this breakdown here. Really the middle of range, I would say. And then the top of the range. Those are our three targets. That's why I entered with 3 contracts. Now, he has also talked about leaving runners, just in case this thing absolutely rockets up. You could have more runners, and then once you've hit your 3 targets, and if it keeps going, maybe you're trailing a stop on another contract that's running. But he has said that the majority of his positions, he exits on these targets here. So we'll speed this back up, 20 times speed. We're on the 15-minute chart. And we'll see how this plays out. Again, we're recovering, we're respecting that 77 level. All right, maybe I'll get down to the 5-minute chart here as we get close to that take profit level. Oh, take profit 1 hit, and it continues on up. Now, for trade management here, maybe after take profit 1 hits, you might want to move your stop to break even, or a few points into break even. That could be good. Maybe you want to trail your stop along the way in case it doesn't hit the targets. For this example, I'm just going to leave everything exactly where it is. But if it were me personally, I'd probably be trailing the stop along the way just to prevent this trade from turning into a losing trade. Because we're already up quite a bit. We've hit first target. If it were me, I'd trail the stop up, but we're just going to let this trade plan play out exactly. All right, let's speed this up a little bit more. 50 times speed. We can see the timestamps right here. This is an afternoon trade, so markets do tend to move a little slower in the afternoons, but the logic still applies. All right, target 2 hit. So now we have 1 runner. Again, I'd probably personally be trailing a stop. I'd probably trail a stop to here or even here. 59.07. Let's see if this last target area hits. Boom. All 3 targets hit. I'm going to cancel out.
Order canceled.
Of that stop. So that is our failed breakdown setup. Again, what we had was an overnight low here. Broke below the overnight low. Recovered back above it and held. We entered the trade. Our logical targets were the bottom of this range right here, right? And then we had, you could say the middle of range. You could also say this sort of range from yesterday afternoon. The bottom of that range was the next target. And then a full rotation up to making new highs on the high end of the range would be our last target area. So that's it. Let me know if you liked this video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment below what you enjoyed most about the video. And I have links in the description. First link will be for my free weekly newsletter, which is just a pre-market prep, how I'm preparing for the week. and links to my social medias as well. And definitely recommend checking out Adam Mancini on X. He's a great follow as well. All right, I'll see you guys next time.